So I did this last time and I almost did not do it, but I maybe I'll just go ahead and do it anyway. So, you asked me a bunch of questions and I'm like, why am I the only one answering? So let's kind of flip the script a little bit, right? Shobhit. So um since we talked last time, there's been a whole bunch of announcements that we've made, a bunch of new capabilities that have been brought to market on VMware Private AI Foundation with NVIDIA. And I would love for you to give folks who are watching and listening a little bit of a kind of a view into some of the highlights of those key things. And I know you've been like deep into it, so I would love to hear your perspective on some of the ones that customers are really excited about and leveraging in their workloads. How's that?
Absolutely, yeah. This makes it interesting with you every time. The surprise element you bring into the table, like this is kind of fun. Um, Himanshu, we made several phenomenal amounts of announcement at Explore. It's pretty cool to come back like right after the 9.0 announcement, right, and do even bigger announcements after that, right? So I would say the biggest one in my mind stands out as our support for the NVIDIA Blackwell support, Blackwell GPU support. Blackwell GPU support, if folks may have heard about it, is at GTC DC. Jensen made the announcement that he's got $500 billion of those orders, right? So it's a big thing, right, at this point. And obviously, they got a lot of stock goodness from it as well. So Blackwell GPU support is the next generation of GPUs, right? After the Hopper series, it's got 208 billion transistors per GPU, 2.5x the number of transistors basically of the Hopper GPU generation. And it's basically the biggest GPU that they've ever built, right? So the massive thing customers get out of this is just huge amounts of token generation, right? Like the AI factory that Jensen talks about is about generating huge amounts of token, and getting that amount of token generation out of one GPU is really huge. So we're thrilled, right, that we're one of the earliest people to support this, right? At Explore, we made the announcement of supporting the RTX Pro 6000 Blackwell server, right?
Right.
And going forward, we'll also support in future the HGX B200, which is now going to be a even one generation, even faster and even bigger GPU support, right? So really, to me, like that stands out as the biggest one. Now
Yeah.
in
By
the
the way, I was just joking with somebody else, but I think it's true. I think Jensen Huang right now is like signing more autographs on a daily basis than LeBron James, or
yes,
any of the other kind of celebrities out there right now. So he's like
absolutely.
the number one celebrity, right now. So just with his leather jacket and everything. So
I'm sure we all seen it, like our friends of ours who shook his hands taking selfies and then posting
yes,
it on LinkedIn and even Facebook. So
that's right.
totally relate to what you just said, Ivanchu. Then then we added a whole bunch of new capabilities, right, that we announced like so in the privacy and security bucket, right, we made the announcement for secure model sharing between tenant boundaries. So this extends basically what we announced at 9.0, where we made the model runtime capability generally available for customers. And now, instead of having singular models having to be replicated in the different organizations within a environment, now the entire organization can now share the same model endpoint, right?
Mm.
And then don't have to do like for every one of the organizations, right, within the same company for lack of better words, right? Don't have to create the duplicate model endpoint. So huge amounts of scalability benefits and TCO benefits, right, for the admin. Now moving on to the infra management bucket, direct path enablement of GPUs, right, with VMware Private AI Foundation with NVIDIA. The VMware Private AI Foundation with NVIDIA will now support direct path enablement for NVIDIA accelerated computing. With this capability, organizations can now readily experiment with AI, prototype new applications, and deploy AI projects even more easily, using the platform.
Okay.
Intelligent Assist with VCF. This got a lot of press, right? Chris Wolf actually shared a phenomenal demo also in his speech as well as in the keynote. So this is an LLM powered assistant we will bring in future, right? Which will be integrated into VCF as an AI assistant for VCF users. So we can, as you can imagine, right, the admins will be able to now quickly access, Broadcom's knowledge bases for solutions, significantly reducing the amount of time they have to spend, right, looking through documents and and reducing basically downtime.
Oh, I bet people are excited about this one. Yeah. So I mean,
Yes, yes.
great,
There's a
good.
lot of excitement. Like if you think about being able to now query the different databases that we have, knowledge databases, and quickly get information out. And the chatbot is actually just phase one, right? Really of this thing. There's much more things planned ahead. I'm giving a teaser here, but not gonna say any more on that. So there's more planned for intelligent assist just being a chatbot. So our audience needs to stay tuned on that one.
Perfect.
The last bucket is the most exciting one to some extent, right? Is the streamlined model deployment one. This is particularly very exciting for the data scientists and developers, where we basically make it easier for them and scalable. And exactly like going back on what you were saying, right? Standardizing the process for doing model deployments and making it easier to do applications on top of it. So MCP, like nowadays, there's no conversation that can be done about AI without model context protocol. And future releases will actually support model context protocol in a very standardized manner. So customers can now leverage external tools like Oracle, SQL Server, ServiceNow, GitHub, Slack, etc., without having to build custom connectors. Right, they can use the model MCP protocol, and will do it with proper governance. Right, so they can actually allow only specific things and specific tools to connect to. The other one, the last two are again very, very interesting. High speed networking with enhanced direct path IO. VCF will incorporate support for the NVIDIA Connect X7 and NVIDIA Bluefield 3 SuperNICs, right, with enhanced direct path IO. So basically, customers can now leverage, GPU direct RDMA and GPU direct RDMA storage for high speed multi host AI training and data transfer, right? So if you think about very big AI workloads, there's a lot of need right now to be able to split it into multiple hosts, right? And then have those hosts really talking at a very fast speed, right? And so that's really very, very, that's what we're going to enable out of this capability. And this is critical for Gen AI workloads, right? Because of the amount of time it takes to sometimes create tokens, right? And
Yeah.
then interact with the LLM itself. The last one is, again, back to NVIDIA's GPUs, right? The HGX platform with Blackwell GPUs and NVSwitch. With NVSwitch, like NVSwitch technology, NVLink, we've been supporting for a long time now at this point, right? Which basically connects GPUs in a very fast network, right? Internal GPU to GPU network. And so we will now support this. We will support it in the future with HGX platform with Blackwell GPUs and just interconnected with NVSwitch. So if you kind of think about all these different fast things that we're doing, right? Like you have this Blackwell switch, just Blackwell support in general, high speed networking connected, multi host, and then NV switches, right, linked to each other. It's going to be really fast communication, multi host, really gigantic workloads, right, which are now no longer like the small percentages. That's really starting to become more and more a norm, right? A
Yeah.
lot of this stuff is driven by our customer needs, right? So tons and tons of new stuff we're going to announce and make generally available right in the future.
Okay, I'm glad I asked you the question. That was a lot of stuff. So yeah, clearly, folks, there's so many things that we're bringing to market very, very quickly, and so it's just going to be available, to you. And some stuff is already out, some stuff's coming very soon, as Shobhit outlined. So again, thank you for sharing that, Shobhit. It was awesome.
Absolutely. And with that, we're coming to a close in the episode. Thank you so much for joining me today, Himanshu. So much fun as usual.
Yeah, fantastic being here. I'd love to come back and talk more about some of the newer things we talked about. Right? Yeah, you sent out some teasers, and I'm excited.
Absolutely. With that, folks, we're coming to the end of this episode. If you like this episode, definitely join in for the next one. This is your host, Shobhit Bhutani, signing off. Have a fabulous day, evening, night, and week. Bye bye till next time.